Welcome, folks, to week 16 of the National Football League slate. I'm your host this week, jolly old Saint Pickles, Saint Pick for short. 3-3 last week here on the show, bringing our overall record to 53 wins, 29 losses, and 1 push. Just a hair under 64% on the year. Looking to get right back to winning again this week. Here we go, week 16. Game number 1, the Philadelphia Eagles, the cream of the NFL crop, traveling to Dallas to take on the Dallas Cowboys. The key to this game is going to be motivation. If Philadelphia comes to play, then 5.5 points is going to be too much, even with Jalen Hurts almost certain to miss this one. But the Eagles can blow this game and still clinch everything with a win against the Saints next weekend. They sat out 11 starters from practice yesterday. No injuries, just some classic NBA-style load management. I expect they might not want to show anything on either side of the ball, and if they fall behind early in this one, they could pack it in. This is the biggest game of the year for Dallas so far. I expect them to show up offensively, maybe even consider a Kringle game parlay with Dak and CD Lamb totals. I'm going to hit the over here. If Philadelphia does come to play, I should be in good shape. And if they don't, I'll lean on one of my favorites, garbage time Gardner Minshew, to get me home. Over 46. Game number 2, the Houston Texans at the Tennessee Titans. Tennessee favored by 5.5 with a total of 37.5 points. The Texans are still playing hard for Lovie Smith. Lovie's got that Santa Claus beard going. I love it from him. They played even with Dallas and Kansas City, 2 of the better teams in the NFL the last 2 times out. But the key right here is no Ryan Tannehill for the Tennessee Titans. Malik Willis, the starting quarterback, threw for 97 yards over the course of 2 games. That's 48.5 yards a game during his first stint. That's not good enough in the NFL. There's a perception the Houston run defense is one of the worst in the league, but they're 14th in the NFL in weighted DVOA. And if they can load the box against Willis, definitely give me the points. And Houston's live on the money line, plus 5.5. The third game of the week, the Detroit Lions are favored by 2.5 points on the road at Carolina, a total of 44.5 points. This is another game where cold weather could really have an impact. Jared Goff is in his 2nd straight game on the road, outside in the elements, and he's about 10 points per game lower on the road than he is at home. Carolina has the number 6 pass defense in the NFL, and on offense, they have one of the highest designed run rates in the league. That equates to a bleeding clock. Finally, we've got Sean Hockley on this game. He's an excellent ref for under bettors, 35, 26, and 2 in his career to the under. Give me under 44.5 points. Next one, we've got the red hot Cincinnati Bengals favored by 3.5 points at the New England Patriots. This is another weather alert game, folks, with some friends to back up our feels here. The under's 5-2 in New England's last 7 overall, and it's 12-3-1 in Cincinnati's last 16 versus the AFC. 9-3-1 in their last 13 games on the road. These are 2 top 10 scoring defenses in cold temperatures, and we need a nice game from Joe Burrow for our fantasy team. You know what that means. We're going under 41.5 points. Ho, ho, ho. On to Sunday night, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with my eventual possible replacement, Thomas Brady, at quarterback. The Bucs are favored by 6 over the Arizona Cardinals, a total of 41.5 points. We must have been pretty naughty to get this little lump of coal in our stockings this Christmas. I despise Tampa Bay. If you followed this show, you've probably seen us go against them more often than not. But this one might be as simple as Uncle Tom Brady versus Trace McSorley. Do the Cardinals care anymore? Who's to say? They made Brett Rippon last week look like 1987 Joe Montana. The Bucs are 4-0-1 in their last 5 week 16 games. That doesn't mean anything. And the Cardinals are 0-5 in their last 5 games in December. Well, maybe that's Cliff Kingsbury. Let's close our eyes and play against late season Kingsbury. Tampa Bay -6. And finally, to Monday night, the resurgent Los Angeles Chargers favored by 3.5 points at Indianapolis. The Chargers have to keep winning and can actually clinch a playoff spot with a certain series of events this week. They're indoors here, which should actually play to their offensive strengths. I'm not sure how the Colts will react to last week's debacle against Minnesota, but it's hard for me to see them rallying around it. Let's play the hotter team with a top 5 quarterback and hope that Coach Brandon Staley doesn't do something stupid to screw us over. Los Angeles Chargers -3.5. Why don't you ever see Santa Claus at the hospital? He's got private elf care. You know my least favorite part about Christmas, Getting stuck in chimneys. I have claustrophobia. Yes, Mrs. Claus. I know that tomorrow is yard work day. I'll be out there in the garden, ho-hoing. No, you're not going to pay me for that sleigh. It's on the house. Got to spend my hard-earned salary on these jingle bills. Lock that man up. He stole my advent calendar. Give him 25 days. Hey, see this little guy behind me? He works out and does crunches all the time. He's an abominable snowman. He also told me that he wants a divorce from his wife. She's a total snowflake. What do you call a search engine that sings Christmas songs? Michael Google. How do I wash this suit? Oh, what's it made of? It's made out of Fleece Navidad.